think I fixed it? Not quite sure. Oh, you're on the wrong screen. Where?
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
Still think it's a little bit loud. A little bit more. There?
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Anyway. There. This online, it is working.
My apologies.
I think it is working anyway. I think somebody will tell me if it's wrong or not. What am I supposed to think here? Hold on.
As in business, you always have to seize the opportunity while it's there.
Hold on.
Come on, enough procrastinating.
Somebody will tell me
Let's
if
go.
something is wrong. I'm not procrastinating. There. There! Now it's working. I think anyway. Hi, Zeke. What was I doing again? Yeah. Oh, it's Rosaria's birthday today. Completely forgot about that. Excuse me, what? It got thorns. You got goddamn thorns. Thorns
In
and drinks.
adventuring, as in business, you always have to seize the
That's it. There.
while it's there.
Keep pressing the wrong button. There. Sanctuary of Surastana. I could say the word. Word. I can say the word. Good thing I'm in.
I know, for work-life balance,
I can walk
but
7 kilometers,
I think
right?
this is pushing it.
Just wing it. Just gonna wing it. You. Please do not put me in another random cutscene. I will cry. Yeah, she is cool like that. Why does it not show up chat?
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatara Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person.
I just need to fix something. One sec. Never mind, apparently. Yeah, I think they do. They keep misgenerating them, actually. It happens more than once. I haven't done this, so I better do it.
I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Fair.
Okay,
Drama
but...
tends to make things better.
Did one of them just mention Tatara Suna? But that's all the way in Inazuma!
Of course it's in
Paimon, or
Inazuma.
is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here is just going about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people here are free to research pretty much anything.
Still, let's go listen in. Yeah, because we can't just walk up to them and just ask.
Great! Let's go find out what this Tatara Suna mystery is all about.
Haven't we read about that already? And heard about it? Inversion of Genesis. I will not walk the stairs.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
Looking for me?
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
They're looking for me and they don't even know who I am.
Hey, what's
Great
with
idea.
that face? Don't believe us?
Don't believe me? I'll go.
No.
I'm leaving.
Of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
So what, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking.
Lacking or non-existent?
Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually,
Yeah, I
we
fixed that.
don't know much about that place either. In fact,
Apparently
we
I
only
don't.
came
Never
over
mind.
here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
Ah, I see.
Apparently I don't know anything about that. I thought I did, but never mind. Sorry, I can't help this time.
My teacher chose this
completely
area of
useless.
research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
I think the reason they don't know that much about it is because Raiden just put the whole country on lockdown. Just shut it down completely. Perhaps that's the reason.
hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This kabuki mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing.
What text did
then
you
a
send?
murder happens?
What have you done now?
Kind of fishy to Paimon.
Everything's
Yes,
fishy to
my
Paimon.
thoughts exactly.
Go away.
So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow, did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Since they're 400 years ago, they're most likely to be dead. Could it be?
Wait, so there are two missing people in this story now?
Something's not right. But why? Shouldn't be a problem. Why is it arguing with me? Ah, never mind.
That's right!
Just
What's
OBS
more,
keeps
Niwa
arguing
is a
with me.
name with a lot of history to
And
it.
things. So
Have
no
you
worries.
ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Yes, that's
Oh,
what.
the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Yes, Suzu is a part of this.
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Do I need to call
Sawada,
Koza?
you left out the biggest detail of all.
Koza probably knows. The biggest detail. There's more? And the plot thickens? Yeah, I finished the Koza quest not long after it came out, honestly. It was fun, but also kind of down. But also the sword I have on Ayaka.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
Whoever voice acted this guy, he needs a raise. Or being more, because he's really putting in a lot of work.
A puppet?
A Shogun's puppet that Electra Archon rulings with her known as Balladeer, but what was he doing for an
Aha!
entire time?
Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
He glares at Pipe on the hope she keeps her mouth shut.
No! Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The Isle of Darkling Clouds. Author Sawada. Track 1. Whew. A man arrives in Tatarasuna around 3 in the afternoon from afar. He spied labored walking along the mountain roads towards the factories. They showed scuffling along the jutting stone. The jutting stones, they walked like people convinced. They walked like people convinced that so long as they reached the fire raging in the mountain's belly, they might extract from it. Oh my god. Yeah, reading's not my strong suit. They might extract from it gems beyond price. The mood that the sight inspired was ineffable? 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 What? I can't read that. Ineffable? Ineffable? Oh my god, I give up. Beyond mere description for those not present to witness it. The man barked a cheerful greeting and sprinted to join the procession. Do not laugh at me! Who stood half a head taller greeted him with a heavy slap on the back, and yet his words were filled with respect. Do my eyes deceive me, Sir Miyazaki? I can read the name, but I can't read a normal English word. Good to know. I cannot think that the return trip here from Inazuma City could have been easy on you. Miyazaki smiled. He smiled. Oh my god, not today. Smiled like a young man taking the first steps on their journey. Expression relaxed. Why Katsuragi? Inazuma is the calm, and if the realm of the almighty Shogun I sailed upon the fastest ships, strewed upon the swiftest sea routes, what dangers could I have possibly faced? And what about the good news? There's some, naturally. The two burst into uproarious. No, you should not. No, I do not read audiobooks for this. Uproaring. Laughter. Rough housing with the other workers until the path's end. A young man dressed in linen shirt in a Oh my god. Why is this so long? Is he? I don't know. I honestly have no idea how he works at all. I just shoved him in there because he looked cute. He was cute and that's it. I'm like, eh. Dressed in a linen shirt and wearing a headscarf, gazed into the dancing flame of the furnace bar before him. This is like a goddamn novella. This isn't some story thing. Jesus Christ. Oh well, I might as well commit now. Now the flames of a forge are unlike any other, for their intensity affects the resulting integrity of both metal and blade. So too, then, was the Flame Watcher an unusual individual. At his fingertips sat a lizard, and on his face he wore a smile. The workshop was huge, and the furnace was deeper within. A reasonable person might think that there should have been many working alongside the Watcher, yet he stood alone. Only when Katsuragi and Miyazaki strode into the room did the Watcher turn. This Watcher was Niwa, armory officer and administrator of Tatarasuna, born to the Niwa clan, which served one of the three pillars of the Ishin art. Niwa never argued with his siblings and was a worthy successor by all accounts. The post he received as a result of his high standing with those in power served as a statement unto itself. Miyazaki handed a well-bundled text to Niwa as he adjusted his expression and said, "It is as you have said, sir. The elders have of your clan in the city do not think highly of our plan, yet I still believe it to be worth a try. As such, I have found the proper vendors. Oh my god. I'm prosecuted? Prosecuted? But procured? I don't know. Yeah, procured the materials that you requested. Niwa studied the text and nodded. We should try some of these new forging techniques, whether Kaidahara says yay or nay. Yay or nay? Katsuragi frowned and with a sigh, he said forging is a precise and difficult undertaking. You know this better than most, sire, and still you seek improvement each day with terrifying drive. Ah, should my Lord Nagamasa? Oh my god. Nagamasa hear this, the sourness in his face shall be hard to miss. Oh my god, why is this so long? Niwa smiled, replying, and how goes the forging of your lord's great blade, Katsuragi? Katsuragi neither wanted to shame his master nor lie to his two friends, and yet he could not think of any way to deflect, and so groused, I see your ears are as keen as your hands, Sir Niwa. The jokes of us unlearned men are as nothing before you. Miyazaki hid his grin upon hearing this. Niwa released the lizard from his hand into Katsuragi's palm, but just as more words were to be exchanged, someone came walking nearby. Their footsteps lighted with the celerity of youth. The head that peeked in was round, and in the light of the fires looked like an oiled jewel. Oiled jewel? The young man placed some box food at the side and nodding, he prepared to leave. Katsuragi called after him, What about you? What about your share? Aren't you going to eat it? The young man, upon hearing these words, found himself slightly at a loss. After a while, he answered, Well, very well, I'll try it. You're welcome to the food. We'll eat the We all eat at the same fare. Eat the same fare. Oh my god. After all, Niwa said. The man nodded and left, seemingly deep in thought. That was just one extract? Oh my god. How? I already regret starting to read this. Rocky want cookies. I don't know how to do Rocky. I'll read on it until tomorrow. Maybe I'll figure it out. Extract 2. The Kabukimono was by the coast. Sunset fell to the accompanied. Oh my god. Fell to the accompaniment. Accompaniment. Yeah, sure, that word there. I gave up on that word, that one. Of darkness. The bands of twilight showed themselves not, for in their place did thunderclouds roil. Grumbling the omen of a coming rainstorm. Darkness filled the flesh of the sea, and the dusk bathed the clouds to kneel upon the land. Its supplication mirroring the Kabukimono with knees bent and face pointed towards the waters. I think my reading says differently. It's the long words. I don't know what that word is, like, at all. I've given up on it. None passed that way, and none knew what he was waiting for in the silence. Time passed unmeasured and uncounted, till a black cloud suddenly tore free from the sky and began to circle Kabukimono, bearing down on him like a nightmare. Though he was not aware of at first, after his studying gaze was refined by time, he understood. This cloud has marked him from the very start. Outbound, the fishing boat drew near, the light of its bow flickering in and out of sight. Beneath, falling sheet of rain, a mist unspooled across the area, stealing sights from the fisherman. Repeatedly he exclaimed, "It is but dusk. How are my eyes darkened? Is there anyone that can deliver my boat upon safe tides?" Like a falling spear, the black cloud reached the bottom of the boat, and was joined in its barefootness. Barefootness? Sure. Once again, that word. Of direction. Like a charging beast, they plunged into the shoreline. Skant steps away. The Kabukimono stood idle, slanting his head to study the grand wreck. Not but half an arm was left on the one who cried out for help, and with a plop, it landed on the Kabukimono's feet. What? What did I just read? Oh my god. He crouched to better study the object, straining against the urge to take a bite out of it. Yet he did not, for the dark clouds rolling down had already picked the remnants of the ship clean. The Kabukimono stared at it blankly, like an awakening dreamer. When he returned to himself, the cloud was scattered, as if they had never been there at all. As for the ship, could it have been struck by a storm? Who was to know? Not the Kabukimono. Did he just think about eating somebody's arm? Now I got questions. I need answers. At least the last one's not as long. Gods. Extract 3. Katsuragi rushed to the doorway and shouted, "My lord, things go ill at the furnace. I have searched for Sir Niwa, but there is no trace of him." And much time has passed since Sir Miyazaki left to seek aid, but he has yet to send us any missive. What's that? Anyway, look, Miku. At this point, they're just bullying me. Mikushi, Nagamasa turned slowly, his face grave as one attending the funeral. He spoke, then his words heavy laden. Laden? I wish not to say such words, Katsuragi, but Sir Miyazaki may never return. Katsuragi peered past Nagamasa's broad, stiff shoulders beyond the window. The clouds above boiled in the waves of black, as if darkness now was the only weather, and might even morph into an abyssal beast and devour the Tarazuna whole. Over 10 people had already perished. That was why Katsuragi recoiled as it struck. Yes, it was coming back to him now. In dribs and drabs, that was why they had to set out to seek aid. No, I haven't. Or maybe I'll do that later, after the quest. I'll think about it. I do have to do it, but I'll do it later. Have you done yours? Miyazaki had been the first to set sail. The clouds had only begun to form then, traveling from Tatarsuna to Inazuma to ask for support. It was normally no great feat, and yet there had been no sign of his return. Then a second ship was sent, followed by the third and a fourth, till the Kabukimono himself had departed upon the tides. Under foul skies and ominous fortune, it had been Katsuragi who had brought him back and treated him as his own. And it pained him greatly to see the lad go, yet the situation in Tatarazuna was severe. Yeah, I'll think about it, honestly. I'm gonna do this quest first and finish this one, and then we can do it. If you're on, still then. It's a situation that is severe. Even should they sacrifice more lives, it would have been worth it to gain us assistance from Inazuma City. Inazuma City. Niwa was gone and none could find him. Afterward, Nagasama led the search party into the mountains and the area around the furnace. All to no avail. Folk began to wonder if Niwa might have encountered an accident. But very, very soon turned to suspicion, and they wondered if he had fled, unwilling to bear the sin of having caused these incidents. Okay, now they're just blaming somebody who's not there. The people grew even more suspicious, and Nagamasa himself strained against his discontent and fury. His face had grown to resemble the rumbling clouds above. Suddenly a figure flashed by. Their presence did not go unnoticed by Nagamasa. He drew his blade and cut, though he only nicked the silken veil the intruder wore. For a moment they swayed, and then, like a marionette pulled by strings, they moved behind Nagamasa, laughing darkly. "Are you seeking someone, my lord? Niwa, perhaps?" Nagamasa bellowed in fury. "You dare address Sir Niwa directly." Yet the figure parted like mist before his falling blade, only to rematerialize beyond the reach, but not beyond sight. A ghastly aberration indeed. "Was it you who slew my people?" Nagamasa howled and charged, held back only by Katsuragi's desperate grip. As his senses returned to him, he realized that he was inches away from falling into the furnace. It seems that the rest of this work remained unfinished. From the existing text, however, it is apparent that this is a novel. of fantastical, colorful sensibilities born from an imagination well utilized. Oh my god, I'm finally done reading this.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well.
No. No, no. Why? Why? Yeah, it is really, but wait, there's more. Why? Details. This text belongs to the series of works sponsored by the La Humanas Whale Cutter Project. It has yet to be numbered. Yeah, maybe. I hope I don't have to read too much more after this goddamn essay. Arthur Aquaba? Sure, I'm going for that. Abstract, the Tatarasuna area has always been a major pillar of Inuzuma's smithing industry. Two incidents have occurred here, and the details behind the first are vague at best. I believe, however, that there might be a hidden history behind the events that transpired. Hence, this paper will attempt to analyze what may have unfolded from the available data. Glossary. Yeah, try saying that one 5 times fast. Tatarasuna area. Ryan Gokadan. Yeah. Mikoshi Nagasama Kabukimono. Introduction. This paper continues and expand the work of my mentor, Mr. Rumi, in his report, The Happily Hidden Tales of Tatarasuna, and is intended to further this avenue of research. According to the data, the blade forging techniques of Inazuma were originally handed down from the Electro Archon, also known as the Raiden Shogun. Using the arts they inherit from their Archon, the people of Inazuma devoted themselves to the process of forging. However, strange rumors that do not quite fit the steely nature of the metalworks yet lingered about Tatarasuna, which was a central pillar of the forging industry. There's the Mikoshi and Niwa clan, along with the eccentric puppet, served as the 3 windows of insight we needed to investigate the truth behind what happened. Body. Strange notes from the Tatarasuna Islands. Their contents are as follows. 1. Perhaps I overstepped, but I think that Sir Nagamasa's mood grows better when he forges blades. The obsession to cleanse the stain of the name Mikoshi must eat at him. Also, Sir Katsuragi discovered a nameless eccentric while patrolling around Natsuchi Beach. 2. The inspector bought a certain number of jade steel ingots. Sir Katsuragi discussed matters of smithing deep into the night with the vice armory officer. 3. We at last made a single Nagamaki. We called it, oh my god, stop with the goddamn names! De Tatara Nagamasa. The inspector was in high spirits, and he and the vice armory officer Nusumu was so taken by the beauty of the Daitara Nagamasa that he drew a picture of it, and he performed the sword dance with the wandering eccentric. 4. He was, and we could not find that eccentric. The inspector flew into the rage / Katsuragi. The great blade cut deep into the flesh, cast his own Nagamaki into the furnace flame. Nusumu could not abide by the order and drew the completely melted weapon out of the furnace. He was horribly burned. 5. Nozumu died that night. I dare say that while Sir Katsuragi may have committed malfeasance? Malfeasance? Feasance? Sure, that. It was out of the goodness of his heart, for Kinijori hid the Nagamaki and Nozumu's drawing in the arsenal. Nagamasa is harsh, but also knows right from wrong, but even so he is not amendable from to reason. His name indicates one obsession with purity. Still, I and some households of Tatarasuna have not been blinded by the matters of Nagamasa's mother Shiyu, and we trust him. I also remain unwilling to forget the joy of creating the Daitara Nagamasa with him, and that joy of watching the nameless eccentric perform the sword dance with Katsuragi. 7. Before we withdrew, we should have divided the arsenal key into 3 parts, one for the inspector, one for the army officer, and one to be left in Totaro itself to prevent theft. But we were in too much of a hurry, and neither the inspector nor the army officer could be found. So I was too bold as to hide the 3 pieces within treasure chest in Tatarasuna. There is more! The 7 notes mentioned prior have been scattered across the Tatarasuna area. Among the 7 notes, 6 seems to be for good physical integrity, though they all look quite old, while the last one looked more recent. I believe that the first 6 notes and the last are of different time periods, though the gulf in years between them needs to be verified. The content of the first 6 should also be related to each other, as the incidents mentioned are quite consistent with one another. Rumi once mentioned the Harply Hidden Tales in the Harply Hidden Tales of Tatarasuna, hereafter known as the Hidden Tales, that in the past researchers from Sumeru have investigated the cultural histories of Tatarasuna and Inazuma. Though the place has fallen into some degree of disrepair since the Hidden Tales were written, though things have improved since the time when I wrote my original article. Regardless, what used to be an area of major industry remains a place most inhospitable. And residents of Tatarasuna may be found living in the dwells by the water. The residents, when questioned, told the researchers of Tatarasuna's golden age centuries ago, when it was administered by Armory Officer Niwa, Vice Armory Officer Miyazaki, and Inspector Mikoshi Nagamasa. Yet the elders among the locals with deeper ties to the region also seemed to be stressed the fact that there were strange rumors surrounding the homeland's past. A great many of these rumors revolved around the yokai, who are so very characteristic of Inazuma's folk histories. A very small number, however, mentioned the word puppet. It should be known that puppets are neither traditional nor common yokai in Inazuma. This fact drew the attention of the researchers to dwell further, and eventually the following piece of information came to light. A puppet did once appear in Tatarasuna. Its visage was elegant, its apparel impeccable, and the way it dressed hid all the joint lines on his body. If none were to mention that it was indeed a puppet, it would be hard to tell it at all. Additionally, this puppet seemed to possess special joint lines that would fade with time, potentially even disappear altogether. which would perhaps eventually make the puppet seem entirely human. The name of the puppet was known to almost none. Some folk claim to have spotted it appearing around Tatarsuna, while others mentioned encountering it in the central region of the area. Some even claim that it would frequent the beach, tail spread of it standing beside the sea and gaze across the waters towards Inazuma City. What it was that puppet was gazing at remained a mystery. As mentioned earlier, the Six Notes all documents a certain nameless eccentric. The eccentric, which can also be read as Kabukimono, is usually used in Inazuma to refer to a figure who dressed or behaved in a particular manner. It is understandable, therefore, why this character would have left such an impression. Should the people of Tatarsuna indeed have had a puppet in their midst, incurring mass panic? A good possibility, considering the coexistence between yokai and humans in Inazuma at large. Then the puppet would have very likely become a local resident. What is less known is if the Kabukimono was just another title for this puppet. Perhaps because it was uniquely dressed to distract the attention from its more special character. Once again, that word. Characteristic. Sure. A workable theory, but one that still lacks enough evidence to support it. Still, it can be retained as an analytical lens of sorts. A list of individuals related to Tatarsuna have been compiled based on historical documents for the Inazuma, starting from the administrator, and records are as follow. Niwa, full name Niwa Hisada. Sure. He was the inheritor of Ichinard and successor to the Niwa clan. His family, along the Akame and Kaidahara clan, were together known as the Ichin Saku. Record shows that Niwa was a modest and intelligent individual who displayed remarkable talent in the administrator of territory and people. His eventual whereabouts are unknown, but he was suspected to have left Tatarsuna with his family following the incident. Vice Army Officer Miyazaki, full name Iwasaki Miyazaki. Oh my god. Kaneo was Niwa's second in command. His origins are unknown, and his primary assistant Niwa in the forging and personnel management. He was an affable temperament and had many friends in the region, including Mikoshi Nagamasa. Mikoshi, the second successor of the Mikoshi clan, adopted son to only warrior Mikoshi Soyo and the younger adopted brother of Mikoshi Michihiri. Also known as Iwakaru, the successor. Can they please stop with all the weird names? Like, please stop. Cut me some slack here. With his mother missing and abandoned by his brother, and Nagamasa alone bore the family name, striving daily to wipe the shame from their history. Though record states that Mikoshi Nagamasa was a stubborn figure, he was also noted to be a person of moral virtue and integrity. It has been noted in various records that he practiced forging swords for self-cultivation, and specially requested special instructions from Miyazaki to further his capability. However, after famous blade Daitara Nagamasa was forged, he used it to slay his subordinates Katsuragi for reason unknown at present. Katsuragi. Kazuragi's full name and background remains unknown despite all the material I have sorted through. I have yet to find any more additional personal information regarding him. As one of Mikoshi's Nagamasa's subordinates, he was a loyal fighter who had been saved by Nagamasa in his youth. From then on, he swore to stick by his lord throughout, thick and thin, and to give his life in service of it was, but also asked him. If it also asked. Kabuki-mono. Full noun and unknown, background unknown. From the many sources I have combined with Rumi's personal observations, this character might have been the puppet mentioned in the rumors. The Kabuki-mono was a figure of fashionable grace and gentleness according to the hidden tales. He was brought back to Tatarasuna by Katsuragi and became a member of the community. When the Kabuki-mono first arrived in Tatarasuna, he knew nothing of cleaning, cooking, or any work of metricolor's nature. The locals taught him their skills over time, showing him how to clean his attire, dance, and craft small trinkets. Record states that the Kabuki-mono was there when the Daitara Nagamasa was forced, though his trail ends before Mikoshi Nagamasa slew Katsuragi. I believe that the Kabuki-mono was indeed the aforementioned puppet, and that he quite likely had a hand in Katsuragi's death. It seems that the rest of this paper remained unfinished. One thing is for sure, though, a lot of thought was put into it. Thank God I'm done. If it comes up with a goddamn third thing, I will lose it.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Yeah, it sounds more like a novel. It is as long as a goddamn novel. The fact that I just read it.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Who chose to
Good
make
point.
it that
Okay,
long?
back to the drawing board, I
So you
guess.
end up reading
Give me
two
some
different
time.
novels.
I need to find a new angle on this.
I'll leave you at
We
it.
have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem. Now let me walk away before you pull out a third goddamn paper. And give me goddamn PTSD from this shit.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it?
Depends on the person,
If
honestly.
you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
What's wrong? Honestly, maybe Nahida just sent, Scaramouche out to walk, pick us up, and he just shows, if I would just walk past in that direction, maybe they'll follow.
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
He didn't get locked up, he ended up in a coma, didn't he? What the hell was that? I got their puppet right here. Never escape a leg day in heels. Switching can run with heels. I can't even walk in heels. Oh, that was... that was the sound. I literally screamed like, what the hell? I see it now. He's in level 2. It's a good thing you're taking care of him, Zeke. He even said thanks. Nadia, Nahida, have you to start talking?
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida, bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough. You're
Maybe
here.
I'll figure out how to feed him soon.
Hey! What are
Right,
you doing
next time.
in the sanctuary of Surastana? Aren't you supposed to be laughed at?
He was
I
comatose.
know you must have
wasn't
a
he?
lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me.
A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Zeke, what did
Flatter
you do?
yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I
I
ask
could
you
see
all
that.
to please calm down?
And he gave him trash 2 times.
Worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us.
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well,
Why
I
does
for
Paimon
one
take
have
everything
no
so
reason to doubt you.
goddamn personal?
Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information.
That
You'll
they're not
come to
willing to give us?
understand more about that in the fullness of time. The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore?
So he's
I
useless now.
take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
So even Nadia, Nahida called him a loser. Best Archon? So he tells you out like trash.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui. And also between each of the Harbingers.
Point taken, do not take relationship advice from this guy. It's gonna be toxic as hell.
So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
Really? What a crying shame. Too goddamn bad, I don't care.
Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you
Honestly,
serious
he's not
about
that
this?
bad. I have a
Yes.
problem. I have more of a problem with Chongli,
I have my
honestly.
reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit.
For me?
Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Yeah, but it doesn't know about me,
yeah.
apparently.
Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today.
Why can't you
So,
just tell me
you have
about
an
that?
update on that?
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point.
It's a whole goddamn category. And since we're the fourth descender, our brother, or at least our twin, is the third one, I suspect that the unknown god is probably the second descender. Who the hell is the first one? Like, who's the first one? Who started this goddamn mess?
It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era.
Didn't he become a god?
Even though he
Like,
no
didn't
longer
we just
has
say he already
Gnosis,
became a god?
some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
So basically, Nahida is completely useless. She's like Windows 10, but you can now upgrade to Windows 11. What realized
Exactly.
you?
Or what if Paimon just doesn't trust him? He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him.
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all.
Good
Our
you know,
minds
because
have
I don't.
connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it.
Thank you, Nahida. I
It's
keep calling
my
her
pleasure,
Nadia.
really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that,
Mm.
but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection.
No,
fact,
you had a
I was going to
harbinger
ask you
running
to
loose.
supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former harbinger.
What,
If you could
beat up?
accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
Got it.
Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
So while we've been talking about this, Scarra's just been in there just
Wow.
waiting for us?
It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The
Yeah,
colors
where's
are
the cubes?
gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Scarra, we need to talk. I can't jump.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irmin's soul ahead of you.
No, he does send me to babysit you. I am the babysitter.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Understood. Now let me continue.
Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
I walk
Sure,
faster than the
confident.
NPCs.
Paimon will give you that.
So
You make it
you
sound
need
like
to
you're
keep
even
your
more
legs
experienced in
moving.
adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
There's no need for all this biting sarcasm. Just focus on doing your job.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
I would have if you would have shut up and quiet for 1 second. Do me the favor.
Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul.
It's different from what I
Ooh.
imagined.
Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What would happen?
Hopefully you disappear.
What are you smirking at?
Like,
I was just
do me the
imagining the
favor.
look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
like never mind. I don't run. What is this?
These sapling things have spread out.
Never mind.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
What happens if I do? The location settings look have been something. I don't read that fast. I thought we already fixed this.
It looks the same in every direction.
Perhaps because we walk forward all the time? It's more used to this than I.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually started telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Center of worms, all of the information in the world flows through it.
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good.
I need to
we
speed
made
read
it.
this every time.
Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
He hasn't put up any resistance and he seems good at working on the front. I don't read that fast, for God's sake. It's just, what a strange individual.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Nahida, is this a telepathic conversation?
Yes. I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
I'm guessing that you don't want us to disturb the Balladeer.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Imagine being in the middle of exploration and you just out of nowhere hear Nahida. Nahida just talk in your head.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
Jump scare. Yes, it would be. Excellent.
As I've
Oh
told
my
you
God.
before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Is it about his past, the betrayals, and the other events in Inazuma?
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
No, it's the only thing I know about him at this point. I ran into Hypatia at Paris VI.
So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Gotta use your head sometime.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
So he did know.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
You have every right to keep certain things confidential.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
I've seen cutscenes here and there from this quest, but I haven't played it
Have
until
you
now.
found anything yet?
So,
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
why doesn't it know about me, but
know
it knows
about
about my
that?
brother?
Didn't Ahita tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you.
Fair enough, honestly. Every conversation with you is hard work. How is this conversation hard work at all? But your attitude is better than I had thought.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
I don't know, maybe a sapling?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Calm down, Paimon, Jesus Christ.
Shh. Just wait.
It literally just appeared and she's already
Mr.
complaining. Calm
Niwa,
down.
are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
And something to Tarasuna. You watched it with your mom? Mine wouldn't even bother watching
I have been in
if I tried.
Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else.
His voice actor. Who is it? I recognize this voice. I've heard it so many places, but I don't remember anywhere right now.
Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming
That's one
place.
way to do it.
Like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Suna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own.
Who
At
has
least
his
not on
voice?
the same timescale. You allowed
I
Akame
recognize
to take
it.
all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to
Toma,
me,
maybe?
and now
No.
every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
No! Niwa!
You're a little smarter than
It
I
was
initially
actually
gave you
useful.
credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatara Suna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Tori? Get your ass back to Snezhnaya right now. Because I'm not dealing with you all over again. Why has he become one of the actually more shown villains? Like, everything is Dotori's fault. Hashtag blame Dotori.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
Bullying.
It's no trouble at
That's why.
all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me The doctor.
Is his one weakness an apple then? I honestly knew Dottore has been behind this for quite some time. However, is his biggest weakness apples? Because you know, an apple away a day keeps the doctor away. Do I need to go on my apple binge all over again?
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Apple
Just
power.
to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
Your existence is a minor
That's
inconvenience.
That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be
thinking you're the
possessed
main
by evil
character.
spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
You fed him trash again.
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has
One of
nothing
us. One
to
of us.
prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
You're having fun, aren't you? Betting my rockets.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens.
There's a half an hour
Will your puppet
cooldown.
friend become a human?
Maybe I can.
No,
maybe it
that will prove quite
gets smaller
impossible.
once he's
Mr.
in a higher
Niwa,
level. I don't know.
already dead. What a pity.
Hashtag cancel Dottore. You need to cancel this
Jester,
guy.
I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him
Justice
our
for
newest
Niwa.
comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
We need justice for Scara and Niwa.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore!
Well, he just completely lost it.
Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
He was the one behind the Tatara Suna incident. I said it right.
Why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so. but it means nothing.
Does it?
Your mental
But
breakdown
this
says
memory
otherwise.
shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
It means growling, apparently. This betrayal was a lie, and that he believed that hundreds of years was part of Doctor's experiments. If the betrayal never happened, it exists only in its imagination.
Give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Okay, let's go over there.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody
not?
has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as a mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began.
So he's about to
It
go
was all
completely
horrific
goddamn nuclear in this
experiment planned by
world
the
again.
doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future.
But since the Balladeer is now here, couldn't he, in theory, just, you know, delete the doctor? Just completely just alt delete the Torre?
Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the Balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the Balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the Balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The Balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the Balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
So it's sad.
Moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Yeah, it sounds like the Torre, honestly. Being betrayed and banned by a close friend showed great resentment, and we all know the revenge for the Raiden Goken 100 years later. But it doesn't mean the vengeance was the right decision.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Who needs a new path anyway?
Tottori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Okay there, buddy? Oh, Jesus. A while later. We just stand there and just stare at him.
Shall we see how he's doing?
I'm just waiting for a nuclear meltdown, honestly.
Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Sure. Once I get out of here. Sure.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
We just want to make sure this doesn't affect the plan.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want know about?
That's
kinda
why we're
what he
here.
was told.
But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Yes, we leave now. Please, let me go. I'm scared I'm gonna have to read again. Not unexpected, but still, thank you.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset.
Never
Well,
mind.
Since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus,
Yeah, I
he
think
only
that's
came
what
to
I have
this
to
world
do, but
because the heavens
I'll look
responded
into
to
it.
the
I'll
summoning.
read about it.
The heavens
See if I can figure out
responded?
what's going on.
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time.
The Jester, another was Watui, Fatui Harbinger.
I don't know the details. It's up
Of
to
course
you
you
whether
don't.
you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Yeah, the Jester is Piero.
What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right.
I honestly, when I
My
first
power's
saw...
all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long.
Yeah, the Jester is Piero. But when I first saw the trailer for this one, I forgot that, so I thought that the Tory was talking to himself. And once again, I'm in the middle of goddamn everything.
I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
What do you want to know?
Give me your hand.
That's not a question. That's an act. I look so angry.
Can you hear my voice inside your head?
Are you trying to brainwash me?
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you.
Paimon looks so angry. So annoyed. I love it.
So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
Wait, why would you ask that?
Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me.
Wait, that look, did he see me hesitate? But that was because oh shit.
So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Belvedere, stop.
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again.
And he's gone.
From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabuki Mono will cease to exist.
What about the other dozen names you have?
Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow.
just look so angry. Why do I keep looking so angry?
Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Palladir, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
Where's the teleport waypoint? Let me go! Never mind. I don't have to.
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you.
No, I want to help.
I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Why wouldn't
Her
it be
voice
safe
is
for us to
gone.
go outside?
Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
Paimon doesn't remember Great Lord Urukadawata. The Balladeer question was a strange one. It's hard to explain in full, and the truth might be very distressing for Paimon. I'll skip the part about Great Lord Urukadawata for now, and focus on the Balladeer. But during that quest with Urukadawata, wasn't that... Didn't they say that once the world had to forget her, that... And if somebody were to remember her, the Withering and Elisar would come back. So we literally can't tell her because Paimon is from this world, right?
He wants to change the past? But
Maybe I'm
surely
wrong.
that's impossible!
No, I don't think that was. It's not easy, but
Right!
that's for sure.
You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it.
Yeah. Great example.
So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Ooh, Paimon's so confused.
Maybe he wants to erase himself from history. Do us all a favor, apparently. Paimon, drinking water was supposed to be an example. You weren't supposed to do it.
Sorry, Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But
You're causing
erasing
me
yourself
stress.
from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul?
Not necessarily, but maybe.
Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too?
Indeed, if the Baldir does erase himself from Irminsul, many people in Inazuma will Ramba. Worst case scenario, the Red
There's
oh
nothing
my
we can
god.
do about it at this
I
point.
can't even read it!
Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next?
Maybe
Seems
you
like
should
now
you
there's
can
nothing
shut up
left
and let
for
me
us
walk.
to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a week tonight.
Me neither.
So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here.
Please
Alright,
do.
Paimon will start.
Go away.
First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes, cream stew, sauteed matsutake, and Dragon chili chicken, almond tofu, satisfying salad.
Why does she always think with her
also,
stomach?
Adeptus Temptation, golden shrimp balls, triple layered consomme, lotus seed and bird egg soup, and
She thinks with her stomach, apparently. Paimon, what's wrong?
What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about.
You were getting so worried
What was
about
it
the situation with the Balladeer that you started listing food.
The Balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name, though.
Well, shit. Paimon doesn't remember the Balladeer. That must means he actually pulled it off. But how did he have that ability? That doesn't make
What's
sense.
wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said?
No, it's nothing.
So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something.
I mean, fair. I need to know what else has changed. Paimon, come with me.
Okay, sure. Where are we going?
I want to go back to Inazuma.
Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Now's not the time to explain. I am fine. I am free. I am free as a bird again. Finally. No. I'm scared of more talking. I'll finish it tomorrow, most likely. Did you wanted to come do commissions, right? Do the commies. Go to the great tree. It's literally nearly 2 hours of only dialogue. It is giving me a nightmare. 75 meters. Hold on. Who else is on? Biddy is not on. Bam. I have saved all of 17 wishes. There's 2 more weeks until this banner is over.
Let's go.
Ow.
Incoming.
The wind rises.
Get your ass moving! I'll be done with this commission by then. I'll be doing this one because it seems like it's a lot of talking. Traveler, what a coincidence. I will not be reading anymore. Like, no. I don't care. Somebody want to read it, you can read it on your own, because I won't. Go to the roots of the divine tree.
Squall and Fury.
I swear to God. Yeah. Scara away. Maybe I should actually start doing the commission. The
Speed of light. Hey!
I haven't done
Nowhere to
the
hide.
oh my god the main with Scara's things. Oh no, oh no. It's having a complete breakdown. I need Barbara to hit the sack. Scara. Gonna be a bit weird. You don't have to keep watching it when you're actually in here, like it's fine. I have to describe the condition. I took a picture of it. Just give the woman the goddamn picture. Oh, finally it's done. Thank you. Greetings. Maybe we should do a co-op stream once. Just run around like psychopaths. Where are you? Like, why are you all the way down there? Bye, Zeke. Why are you all the way down there? Come on.
Incoming.
Can't move.
Shouldn't get curious.
I have pitching power.
You can't run. Let's move. Well,
Bow your head.
have a load of this.
Speed of light.
I see through you. Don't be a killjoy. Only just begun.
Oh god. Oh no.
Need to hurry up.
Incoming. Hey!
Go away.
Went too far.
Eh.
Cut to the chase.
Will you please attack down?
Don't blink.
You need to hurry up.
Oh no. My kuching is nearly dead. Oh shit. Oh shit.
I will not.
I just killed kuching.
Behold.
How?
This quickly.
Fall
I literally died. How did I die? I literally... How did I die? How? How did I manage to die? Ridiculous. No. Oh, I'm... Oh my god. I am bringing Barbara. Barbara. Omen does no damage, but she's here.
Go. Let's dance.
I'm here. I'm back.
Squall Fury. Frost.
I'm back. Oh my god.
Quit following me.
The fact that I actually died. That... How? How did I die? Light chasing? Ugh. I'm starting to get tired of this one. Yeah.
Too slow.
Woof. That like my eyes just flashed before my eyes again.
Relax.
You stop being so angry all the time. Please. No. No. Go away. Please.
That's far enough.
Oh god, I'm dying again. Oh no. Help! I don't have the health for this. Go back. Stay back, I say. I keep pressing the wrong button. See, get your ass over here.
Behold.
It's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's Farzan. Gliding across the sky.
Let the show be.
Squall and Fury.
Unsightly insects.
dead. That's far enough. Cry louder. Squall and fury.
Dare to mess with me?
Unsightly insects.
Bird Rex.
Woo! Done with mine. I can't bother Catherine.
Let's dance.
What other? Oh yeah, I have Yao Yao. Yao Yao.
Don't be scared. We'll see about that.
I have Yao Yao power. Why do you keep doing everything?
Have fun with this gift.
I have
Dare to mess
Barbara.
with me?
We don't do damage.
We'll see about that. Go get it, Uruguay! Dare to mess with me? Uruguay, you're up! Truth repeats its course. We'll see about that. I'll protect us.
Neat as Barbara. Anyway, that's quiet. That's the end of my stream anyway. See ya. Yes, I wish to stop.